I thought Georgetown played well. I thought they shot the ball well. I knew going into the night that if we were going to have a chance, we'd have to shoot it really well, especially behind the line. And then we needed them not to shoot it well. I know they've struggled to make shots in some of their games this year. It wasn't a problem tonight. They stepped up and made some big ones, even guys that hadn't made a lot of them this year. I didn't think that we handled the moment really well. I think we weren't as aggressive and confident as we've been throughout this non-conference slate of ours. We've been a pretty good team here, coming into the game 9-3, and we've done some nice things, but we didn't have the same level of confidence. And even defensively, we were almost closing out passive and unaggressive. I thought we had to be the aggressor tonight if we were going to have any success. But you got to tip your cap to them. They played really well coming off a huge win at Syracuse. I thought they kept it going. And they should have a pretty good year in the Big East.
Coach, talk about the job they did on your number 10, your floppy action. You couldn't really free him. It was hard for you to free him.
Yeah, we run a lot of stuff on the baseline and give him freedom to come off screens. We didn't have a lot of success with that tonight. I mean, we need him to shoot the ball well for us to be a good team, him and Marvin Smith. And I think I looked down and they were combined, 0 for 8 from 3. So they did a nice job on Francis and they did a nice job on Marvin. I thought we were able to have some success in ball screens getting downhill. Now, once we got down in the paint, our decision-making and ability to finish wasn't necessarily what it could be. Their size is such a factor in that, but I thought we missed a couple we should have made, and then I thought we missed some pitch-outs for open shots that we didn't see. But again, their size is a big factor there.
You're saying their size is a factor. You guys didn't shoot like you wanted to, but you did a great job on the offensive glass. What was it you were able to take advantage there?
Yeah, we're pretty aggressive going to the board, and that's kind of who we are on a night-in, night-out basis. I thought our quickness there helped us a little bit, but when you're not making them, you got a better chance to rebound them. There's more misses, and we weren't making many, so we did have more opportunities to get them as well. But we've been a good offensive rebounding team to this point in the year, and there aren't many positives for us tonight, but then maybe that was one. I think we had 10 at halftime, so we were getting after the ball there.
What would you attribute climbing back into the game in the second half, getting into like single digits?
Well, I was really searching for a lineup there in the first half. I'm playing R.J. White, who's, a preseason all-conference guy, an all-conference guy for us last year with 2 fouls, just because I thought we had to figure out how to make it a game at halftime. I thought if we could get it under 10, get it in striking distance, we'd have a chance to make a run at him in the second half. We got it down to 8, so I kind of found the lineup and ran with it a little bit, and it took us out of our normal rotation, but that group did a nice job. And then 2 threes on the last 2 possessions of the second half kill you. And instead of going in at 8 or 6, I think Deontay Baldwin had a chance to get a steal. He deflected one. We didn't come up with the loose ball. They hit a 3. We go down and we don't score. Next possession, they hit a 3. We go down and miss a 10-footer, and all of a sudden you look up and you're down 14 again. That hurt us. In the second half, we did come out of the gates with more energy, and I thought we were just a little more confident. I challenged them at halftime, to say that we got to be us first. We got to play the way that we play every day, regardless of who the opponent is. And again, I thought maybe the moment and the name on the front of the jersey might have affected us there for a little bit.
You mentioned some of their guys that hadn't been hitting threes, like Govan and Derrickson. What sort of spacing issues get created when those guys are able to do what they do?
Yeah, they're tough to guard when you do that. I mean, they do a good job of setting, flare screens that turn into back screens in the top of the floor in their Princeton offense, and you're trying to help on those cutters, and when those guys can step out and make them, it makes them a really tough team to guard. We did talk about forcing those guys to make shots in the scouting report. We really didn't want, 23 prior. We didn't want him to get going. He's accounted for so much of their three-point shooting. We were really worried about Zero and trying to find his L.J. Peak. And he's more of a driver. Watched him a lot in the summertime, but he's also accounting for a lot of their three-point shooting. We closed out short to him twice in the first half and gave him good looks. So, no, when those big guys step out and make threes, they're pretty tough to guard, and they made some tonight. They made some from the elbows and from 15 feet as well. I thought Govan was fantastic.
Coach, you said you didn't see a lot of the aggressiveness and confidence that marked your games earlier in the season. What can you attribute that to?
It didn't go our way early. I think we got to mature as a basketball team, and I think really good teams, championship-level teams, when they don't make shots and it's not going your way, they just kind of keep coming at you on a possession-to-possession basis. I thought when we missed some good looks early, it really affected us. We lost our composure. We lost our focus a little bit. That said, I think this team's going to be fine. We get into conference play. We have enough maturity, but we'll learn from this and we'll grow from this experience tonight. Georgetown's a fantastic team. We just talked about it. They were going to shoot the ball that well, and we weren't going to shoot it that well at all. It was going to be hard to win, but we certainly could have handled this opportunity in this moment better.
Anything else for
Do
Coach?
you normally play as much 1-2-2 as you did today? 3/4?
We've been playing a 1-2-2 on every made basket this season. It's been a really big factor for us. They really stretched us out. Their press offense was a different look and alignment than we've seen from anybody else we played in our first 12 games. That affected us a lot early. We tried to make adjustments, timeout to timeout, to cover the middle of the floor, and it was almost back towards the top of the key. It took us a long time to make that adjustment, even though we were talking about it every time out. I thought the first time we did was at the end of the first half, and Deontay Baldwin almost came up with a big steal. So it's something we really believe in, but we did not have the kind of success we wanted to have with it tonight.
Coach, how big of a factor is it to use RJ tonight in foul trouble a lot of the night, finishes with a double-double? How much confidence does it give you going into conference play knowing you can use him when he's in that kind of situation?
Yeah, I mean, he's been a kid that's fought foul trouble throughout his career, and I think he was able to play aggressive and still sit down and play. He made some great plays on the ball, trying to bother or alter shots, block shots with 2-3 fouls. So that's something that I hope we're not in that situation a lot over the next 18 games in conference, but certainly if it's a game that we're struggling to stay in, we're going to have no choice but to put him in. He's a really important part to this team on both ends of the floor.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thanks.